center punched it. Oh, yeah. Alright, welcome back to Backyard Slingshots. Today we are looking at more into getting started with pickle forks. On my table here, I don't have that huge box like I had last time on the last video, full of pickle forks. Today I've only got 3, but they're not true pickle forks, but they can be shot like a pickle fork to get you comfortable in the technique and the style on how a pickle fork is to be shot. So, what you saw me shooting right away in the opening is from Smo Slings. This is an OPFS done in HDPE. All I've done from how he sent it to me is I drilled and cut holes in the gap. I measured this gap. This gap itself is right around 14 millimeter. So it is wider than your traditional pickle fork, to me making it a very extreme side gapper, but it does have a wider fork than your traditional pickle fork. So this is for people, I would say this would be more for someone who is comfortable in the technique of shooting a pickle fork, but still doesn't want that really tight gap, almost flat top. The other 2 that I have are going to be way more on the extreme for a gapper, which are going to be a chalice that I made. This is about a 3/4 inch, right around 18 millimeter gap, right about 65 to almost 70 mil outer. The other one is from the Magpie family. This is definitely a 1-inch gap. The tips are set up so I can shoot my tubes. So this has got a wave set up on it. This is one I made, mostly just to make it, but also I can use it in this video. But that's another gapper that I have made. All 3 of these would be excellent for the very first time picking up a pickle fork and learning the style. The ones with the tubes. So my tube styles, I will have to twist and tweak on each of the shots. That's what I was doing with the OPFS in the opening, popping that can. As I was twisting, pulling back, and because I'm shooting full butterfly, so you guys can kind of see going this way. So there would be normal. There's my twist. So like starting a car engine, there's my twist. Now I don't have to worry so much on the tweak because I'm shooting butterfly, so when I draw back, you see that just trying to hold onto the pouch, I've already got my tweak in there. So I don't have to worry about the tweak. Now, So in that, go ahead and load up. I know Josh, and I'll link Josh's video on shooting a PFS that he did. He did a remake. He was pinching in front of the ammo. I still, again, this is like anything in slingshots, shooter's preference style. I still kind of pinch the ammo. And when I do my tweak, it rolls. So I'm still pinching just my ammo. But come up to my normal draw point, draw out. That one was to the right. So try again, my normal drawing point. And that one I knocked my can off, so you guys are going to have to excuse me while I pause and reset the can. But again, you saw me twist and tweak when I was drawing back. So my normal draw, I'm automatically going to tweak. I can adjust how much of twist I have, but that's a little bit later on. Right now we're just getting you finding something where you're comfortable, you feel comfortable shooting it, you feel comfortable you won't get that frame hit because the gap is giving you that room. It's giving you that room for error. So that way when you send a shot through, this is an 8mm 5/16. So when you send that shot through, you see I'll still clear here, I'll definitely clear here. That you feel comfortable you won't get that frame hit or hand hit. That's the other thing about these two, is the way they are, your hands and fingers are wide enough away where you're still in a safe zone, you're still clear from the center of the forks. So let me pause you guys. I'll reset that can, and then we'll go over what I've got for that chalice and how the flat bands are set up. And I will go over that, all right? Now, even with this chalice gapper, being at 65 to 70 with that 18mm gap, I'm still shooting it like a pickle fork. Difference, okay? This band setup, so if you're looking at it face on, if you watch the bands are rolling, okay, towards the pouch. This is using what's called an offset pouch setup. So if I hold it like I'm going to shoot it a normal frame, if you look down my bands have a twist. Okay? If I roll it where they're not twisted, you see that I'm automatically set up that way. Okay? The way we set that up, so we have my bottom fork, target side bottom fork. I'm going to tie the band on so that I'm looking at the back side of the pouch. Okay, and these are set up TTF, so there's the TTF cuff where it's folded third over, and then tied on. Okay, so we're going to fold the pouch in half. We're looking at the back half of the pouch, tying on to the bottom of the fork, at which point when we tie on the top fork, you should be on the back side looking at the ammo side of the pouch, and the back side of the pouch looking at the target. And what that'll get you, when you line up your bands, that will get you an automatic twist inside the bands. That will be a big helper to those who want to shoot their flat bands and not have to worry about remembering that twist, because for you to line up your bands, it's automatically there. Not lined up, lined up. You can see the bands end up with a slight twist in them. That will give you a little bit of help on remembering, do I have this pouch twisted? Why doesn't this feel right? this will automatically help you in getting that pouch twist in. So all you have to do is that slight tweak at the back end. So, being that, normal setup, like I'm shooting a normal slingshot, PFS, so on this side, normal pouch hold. You see the bands go flat on me, they turn upwards on me, there they level out. Normal, PFS style. Now for me, the little itty bitty thump that I'm getting, both on my tubes and my flats, doesn't bother me. Doesn't bother me at all. But another big piece of advice for those who want to learn pickle fork is, if you're using a flat band setup on your pickle fork that is from your standard frames that you shoot all the time, whether it be an 1810, a 2012, excuse the airplane, a 2212, 2214, whatever your normal band setup is, if you're trying that on a pickle fork and it seems like it's going too fast or it's slapping your hand and you're shooting 8mm or 5/16, this is the biggest piece of advice I can give you in general. Until you get comfortable shooting the frames, then drop back down to your 8mm, is shoot 9.5. 9.5 will slow down the bands if you're an 8mm shooter. 9.5 will slow down the bands, giving the ammo and the pouch more time to clear. That's probably the biggest piece of advice that I can give you. So this is a 9.5 steel. I hit under the target. It was in line, I hit under the target. Right there shows you it slowed down my bands. It gave the bands and ammo time to clear, and I did not get the thump on my fingers or my knuckles like I did with the 8mm. So now that I know I have to aim a little bit higher, and I just center punched that one with a 9.5. That's kind of the tips and tricks for this video. Is you've chosen your frame, you've chosen to stay comfortable and go with that gapper, whether it be one that is made by birch ply, which Slingshot's underground. He loves to do his wood frames. I personally love to build with birch ply when I find good birch ply. This one I made polycarbonate or Lexan, basically like a NASCAR window, but you got a gapper in there. 9.5 will definitely clear if you've got everything perfectly lined up. It will clear. And then, like I said, Jordan Smothers, I've actually talked with Jordan since the last video. He can, on request, he even told me, he can, on request, open up the gap of his PFS frames that you order if you're getting started and you want that comfort feeling knowing that your ammo could still potentially clear this gap if you shoot it wrong. So Jordan said he can do that. So that'll kind of do it on this video. The next video in this series, I will go over a traditional 12mm or smaller gap or flat tops. It'll pretty much be an exact same thing as this, but showing off the frames in the same shooting style. I'll probably try a different camera angle from down here behind me, so you can see my hand when I come back. You can see that I'm actually I'm tweaking automatically on the extension of the draw. And then down the road we'll start going more into detail on band setups for flat bands and what you can do there. So as I said, pickle forks are still a Slingshot. The only difference is we're losing the gap as we get more towards your traditional pickle fork. So this has been Chris with Backyard Slingshots, going over my pickle fork series. Until next time, shooters, keep them in the 10 ring.